Your man won't talk to you. Oh my goodness, I know that is not a place you want to be in life. Well, I have for you some very specific things that will help you to know why he's doing that and what you can do about it. Have you ever had those moments when your spouse or your boyfriend or something stop talking to you? Oh, that happens to me. And then I think, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? And I start going all internal and I'm wondering, what is my problem? What did I do? And I take on all the blame myself. Well, there's actually really specific reasons why men do this. And I'm going to actually bring my husband Kirk in, and he's going to share with you a little bit about why. And then I'm going to tell you some of the things that I do that makes a difference. But I want him to share with you why men do this so it'll kind of make sense. Because I know for me, it doesn't really make sense. But I want you to really understand so that you get it. So here we go.
All right, so guys, well, I guess I'm speaking to the ladies to understand why us as guys shut down. Well, you're going to notice that men do this. We have our moments where we're super connected to you and we're emotionally connected and it's just playful and fun and everything's great. But then something happens and now the man is distant and he's not talking as much. He avoids you. He goes out to the garage to work on projects. He goes into his office. And at nighttime, there's like little to no conversation. And you are wondering, what did you do that made this happen? Well, you could be part of it, or some other things could have happened. So let's lay out some reasons why a man would shut down. Number one, he either has been mocked by a family member, or he has been told or implied that he's wrong too many times. Like a man can handle it for a certain number of times of being wrong, but it stacks up. After a while, the evidence stacks up, and once he's wrong or it's incorrect after a certain number of times, he finally will just stop talking. Because a man wants to be included in on the problem solving, and if he is wrong and he doesn't know what's going on and his ideas are not really good ideas, well then he'll just quit contributing ideas. Because why? Why waste time giving ideas when he's always wrong or incorrect? So that could have happened where he was wrong or incorrect, implied that he's incorrect a lot of times, or socially mocked, or personally mocked, or family has mocked him. If a man is trying to provide for his family and he's not doing a very good job, he will go really deep into his mind to try to figure it out, and so he won't be in a conversation. Another reason why is a guy just needs time. Really, sometimes there's just a guy needs time. A guy needs just to get away from things and kind of get back to his own way of thinking. Now, hear me on this one. Don't get mad at me or anything like that for this one, but women talk a lot. And sometimes a woman's voice talking a lot can actually get into, let me go personal. When Kim likes to talk, and she talks a lot, and she wants to know what I'm doing pretty much all the time. And so she's always asking me questions, what are you doing, what's going on? Because I don't walk around the house going, hey Kim, guess what I'm doing, So she's asked me a lot of questions, and she talks a lot. And sometimes her beautiful voice totally takes over my brain. And I can't even have a thought without Kim all over inside that thought. And I can't even think for myself. And so to get everybody else's voices, hers and everybody else's voices out of my head, I got to get away from people. And so I go out and clean the garage, or I just quit talking, or I go for a drive, or I go do a project or something, because I need to find my voice. The way a guy thinks and looks at things, the perspective, is different than a woman's point of view and the way she looks at it. And if I keep listening to Kim all the time, the family will lose out on my perspective, because it takes a man and a woman's perspective on life to get through life. It really does. If you want to really get far, you need both. So if she's completely in my head too much, it's like, all right, I gotta get her out of my head. I love her. I want her in my heart, but not in my head. I know it sounds weird. Is she still here? Oh, she's still here. She's still listening to me. But either been hurt, mocked, wronged too much, or I just need space, or she's just in my head too much. So we have reasons why we don't talk. But you probably don't know which reason happened. You don't know which one happened. But before I leave and Kim comes back on here, something I want to just give you some advice on is when your man has ideas, don't say that you don't like or the idea is not going to work, the whole entire idea. Because when a man's ideas keep getting rejected, did you just see that bug fly by? He almost took my eye out. when a man's ideas keep getting rejected or not listened to, a man can permanently withdraw because he has nothing of value to add. So as a woman, sometimes as a woman, you are like all in or nothing in. And so it's like an all or nothing. Maybe look at your man's ideas and look at breaking it up into pieces and seeing which parts of that you could see could contribute to solving the solution or whatever you're building together. But please listen to each other. The best way to keep your man talking is to listen to your man. If you keep over talking him or trying to correct him, he will quit talking and you won't know what to do. Well, I guess Kim's going to give you some ideas right now of what to do. But a big problem we have in the world is men are talking less and less and less, and they're not contributing their ideas, and we have too many families struggling. The man is the provider, the man is the protector, but if he's not talking, he's not providing very well, and he's not protecting very well. So listen to what she's about ready to show you here about how to get him to open back up. Did this add some value? I think I spoke up for the guys here in this moment, but it's real, and it's not always what you did, it's how he's responding to it. So, okay, here comes Kim.
Okay, that was awesome. I know that, Kirk just helps to give us just a different perspective because we think differently than they do. We think totally different than they do. So when Kirk goes into this, not talking zone, and just like last week, we were in one of those not talking zones, and I find myself at first, I tend to take it personal and I think it's all about me. And sometimes it's good to evaluate and go, okay, did I do something? Was I critical? Was I, was I too overbearing? Was I, asking too many questions about something he maybe doesn't know all the answers to? So I kind of go in and I think about that. And then if I realize, it really wasn't me and he just needs some space. And so the first thing I do is I recognize that I just need to be patient. When I have patience and I calm my energy down, that makes such a difference in our relationship. When he can feel me being uptight or intense with him, and because I used to, when he would shut down and not talk, I would keep talking and talk more, and I would be more aggressive because I would want him to talk, so I'd try to pull the conversation out of him. That just made him madder, and that made him more quiet and more separated from me. So what I have found is when I can just calm down, be patient, that makes a really big difference in our lives. And then number 2, I also know that when Kirk is in this zone, he really just needs a safe space. He needs a safe space to be in our home, wherever he's at. He just needs to feel safe. And so the way that looks is I stop asking a lot of questions. I just I really tune into my own energy, and I really try to send out a feeling of neutralness. Like, I'm neutral and you're safe and you're okay and we're going to figure this out and I got your back. He needs to know that where we are is safe and that he can have his moment of, maybe you want to call it like an implode. He can have his moment of implode, and it's not going to cause me to implode. We used to, he would implode and then I'd implode, and then we'd all be imploded, and it would not be a good thing. But, him not talking could be a sign of him imploding for a minute. He might just have too much going on. And if I can stay neutral and say, if I can stay at that safe space for him, it will help him to actually come out of it faster and help him to just recover from that experience a lot faster if I stay calm and stay at peace and keep that safe space. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm like walking around on eggshells. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not walking around on eggshells and like careful with everything I do. I just have this feeling about me of just calmness, of just being neutral. That's what I'm looking for, not eggshells. That doesn't work for me. Then number 3, if he does actually want to talk, I'm available to hear it out. And I really have done a lot better with jumping in and trying to fix and solve his situation. I just let him talk. And sometimes that hearing it out experience can be a little bit scary because, he might say some things, he might share some things with me that might kind of freak me out, as in, oh my gosh, that's where your head is? That's what you're thinking? And that can be a little bit, overwhelming for us sometimes. But if I can just, again, stay neutral and just hear it out, just listen. That's all he needs, is just somebody to listen to him. He wants to be able to feel like he has someone that he can talk to that's not going to be freaking out with whatever he says. If it's, if he's got a lot going on and whatever he's dealing with is, kind of a challenge, that will help him, is if you could just hear it out, hear him out. And number 4, just gentle, soft touch. When he's feeling, not talking, rather than going in and trying to have a conversation with him, I might not go in and really intensely touch him, just very calmly put my hands on his shoulders or his back, or maybe his neck, or just maybe I'll just rest my hand on his chest, just to let him know that I'm still connected even though we're not talking. If I can let him know that we haven't lost that connection and I'm not imploding, I'm still right there, he actually will come out of it a lot faster. That's what I've noticed. And so that simple, gentle touch, really gentle touch, just lets him know you're still here, you're still available, and you're neutral, and you're a neutral, safe place for him. Then number 5 is I really pay attention to the music that we have going on in our house. In fact, there was a time, maybe a few months ago, when I knew he was in a situation that was really difficult, and there was a lot of pressure, major deadlines, just really, really intense moment in our life. And I knew that he was out doing his thing, and I'm at home. But I knew that when he came home, the most important thing for him at that moment would be for things to be really calm, and for me not to ask a lot of questions, but for me just to welcome him. And so I intentionally found the music that I knew that he really likes and that would help to keep him calm. Music is so incredibly powerful. In fact, music can actually be more powerful than even words that we say. So when he walked into our home that day, I will never forget the relief on his face, because he could tell that I had basically prepared the space for him to come into our home after that really difficult, challenging experience. So when he walked home, or when he walked in the door, it was like I could literally see, with my own eyes, I could just see the relief and the stress and the overwhelm come off of his body. And then he just settled into home and was like, okay, I'm home, and I'm ready to build myself back up again. So music is really powerful. I chose exactly the music that I knew that would make a difference for him and that would help him to feel awesome. So that music is really powerful. And then the last one, and we've kind of talked about this one also, but he really does need his space. So not only does he need a safe space, but he might actually need space. He might need me to just let him be, and not be in his face asking him what's happening and are you okay, and this question and that question and what's going to happen and all that. He doesn't really want that at that point in time. He just wants to have some space. And so it's okay to give him some distance, give him some time to like get through the things that he needs to get through so that he can power himself back up and step back into who he really is. So this has made such a difference in our life and in our marriage as we have gone through a lot of different types of situations in our life and pressures and challenges and things like that. It's really helped me to understand him more, and as I understand him more, I understand myself more, and I feel like that helps me to really just be my best with him. And when I'm my best and he's working on being at his best, we're both working on being at our best all the time. But even if I'm not at my best or he's not at his best, that balance of me doing everything I know how to do makes the difference. And for him, when he's balanced and doing everything he can do when I'm not 100%, that makes all the difference. So this really has been awesome in our life, and I hope that you just choose one or two of these and give it a try and see if it makes a difference for you in your relationship with the one that you love the most. I really hope that helped you out and made a difference in your life, because I know that you really want to connect more with the person that you love. In fact, if you want to subscribe here, you're going to find that you'll have lots of opportunities to learn more about, what can make a difference in your life. We also have this class. If you look at the link below, you'll see we have this class called Royalty and Romance, and that is really where you have an opportunity to learn and connect and just experience some incredible techniques that we have to support you in just becoming more connected as a couple.